Namaskar, welcome, Swagatam. You are with the Versatile Doctor, and today I'll be sharing with you my mono green deck, the Creatures Ram deck, which I've been playing with on Arena for quite a while. Uh, but before we discuss the details of the deck, the cards that are in it, let's first play around. I think there is some problem. They shouldn't be waiting for the server coming on the screen. The internet connection is quite well. Okay, what is happening? Reconnect. This sometimes happens. Okay, till the time this match starts, I am currently waiting at 1 minute, more than 1 minute, and the point is, the deck I am currently playing with is green creature ramp deck, which means there are many high-powered creatures, some with trample, some without trample, in this deck, which I use to destroy my opponent. For the most part, this deck is quite good. It is giving me something around 60 to 65% of win rate, which is decent. Not very good, but decent. The point is, you need to have a good opening hand, and this deck actually doesn't work against red aggro decks, especially the ones with too many dwarfs, too many goblins. The goblin red mono aggro deck, which has been going very strong in the meta right now, is something that my deck cannot counter, at least not till now. I also have a sideboard for this deck, which will be handy if you are playing a traditional historic game. So, am I connected? No. Yeah. So, let's play. Now, there are 5 colors in Magic the Gathering: green, white, red, blue and black, and there is one colorless. So technically there are 4 options for you to play with, and obviously the best decks are those which combine the plus points of more than one colors. So this is my opening hand, and as I was saying, the opening hand should have at least 3 land cards, or just like this. I'll keep this hand. There are 2 land cards, but there are 2 mana boosters also. Llanowar Elves, that will give me 1 green mana, and Heraldic Banner, that will again give me 1 green mana. So let's see. I'm going first. Land and Llanowar Elves. This is a historic deck, which means all the way since Ixalan and forward, the cards are playable in this format. I have Heraldic Banner in the battlefield right now, which will give me 1 mana whenever I choose. Nothing to do. So effectively I have 4 green mana on the battlefield. all I need is another land, yes, and then I can play right now. Let's go for a kill, well, some damage at least. So this is Primal Might. If I pay 3 and 1 green mana and target a creature I control, it will get submit 0. It will get +3/+3 auto pay, and I can deal 5 damage to the opponent. Pass turn. Now see, the opponent is playing mountains, which means it must be red and no other color right now. Red and colorless. Dragon's Horde. Put a gold counter. Okay. So now what can I do? I can put this on battlefield. Pay 3 life, so that now I can play Colossal Dreadmaw. So my giant creature Colossal Dreadmaw, which is a dinosaur, is on the battlefield. Let's see what the opponent goes for next. Zul'Faryn Void. It gives a scry and a 1 colorless. So this is, the opponent is playing a red and colorless deck. Usually mono red decks are something that I am always afraid of. That and the mono blue counter decks. Even milling decks are okay, because this deck is so powerful by the turn. By the time by the time we hit turn 3 or 4, sacrifice a creature. If you decline, Demanding Dragon deals 5 damage to you. I will sacrifice it. I have 1 forest, and I can go for another Heraldic Banner, which will give me another power point to my Colossal Dreadmaw, and I can go for the attack. So my Rampaging Brontodon, which is the kind of the star of this deck, it will come into play next turn if all goes well. Okay, this is Sarkhan. You may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Okay, no problem. I can deal with this. Colossal Dreadmaw has Trample. Oh, this is Ugin. Ugin is kinda my wild card in all my decks, because sometimes it happens that I need to wipe the board. When I'm cornered, when I have no plays left, I have to play Ugin and clear out all the debris. So Sarkhan can go, unless they block with Demanding Dragon. So my Colossal Dreadmaw will die, but Demanding Dragon will also die, and this Planeswalker Sarkhan will get 3 damage. No problem. I still have a Rampaging Brontodon on the battlefield, and it will get +1/+1 for each forest that I control, which means +5/+5 if it attacks. What is happening? There are so many treasure tokens.
Are you ready?
Add 2 mana. So another dragon is coming around. This is okay. The opponent is ramping up. Now if I attack, yes, I have to attack. There is no other option, because I don't have 8 mana to cast my Ugin. So I'll go with Rampaging Brontodon. No, let me attack the player, the opponent. This will get 5. So the power is 14 and toughness is 12. They can kill me. They can kill this creature. But so 14. I can leave the token and kill everything. Okay. I still have Colossal Dreadmaw on their battlefield. The opponent is at life total of 7. And drawing a card. This must be another dragon, and by the looks of it, it must be something very, very large. They are ramping up the mana, and it is Skargan Hellkite. Its ability is it deals 2 damage divided to. Okay, no problem. Yes, now it is time for me to play Ugin. Now, what will I do with it? Colossal Dreadmaw the converted mana cost is 6, and Hellkite's converted mana cost is 5. So I have to clear everything. Exile each permanent that is one color or one or more colors of converted mana cost X or less. So this ability will wipe down the board. Hellkite and this token dragon will die. Most probably. Now the problem with blue decks is that they have a counter for everything. Even the ability, even Ugin's ability, they can counter it. I think game is over. Yes. So as you can see in this deck analysis by EtherHub, which I have been using, and it is a very, very handy tool. This deck is giving me quite a decent amount of wins, although it didn't give me anything. The deck was next to useless when I was playing in the Arena Open yesterday. Waiting for server again. What did I get? Underworld Breach, each non-land. Okay, no problem. So to the main topic today. I have named this deck Gigantodon, which means it is a combination of Gigantosaurus, which is a 10/10 green creature without trample for 5 forests, and then we have where did it go? Rampaging Brontodon. Rampaging Brontodon is a 5 generic and 2 forest green creature with trample. It has basic toughness and power 7 and 7, but when it attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each land I control. So by the time I'm able to play this card, there are at least 5 lands on the battlefield. So anytime I attack, it will be minimum of 12 power and 12 toughness. So this deck is built around high powered creatures. Let's start with this. This is one of my all-time favorite cards. Although in Arena I only have 1 copy of this card, and I haven't crafted more copies because 1 copy is enough. Ghalta Primal Hunger. The most important feature of this card is that it has a modified mana cost. If I have say any high powered creature, say Gigantosaurus, its power is 10. At that time, this spell, Ghalta spell, will cost X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. That means I'll be able to cast this for only 2 forests, 2 green mana. But that is just 1 copy in my deck. I drew it maybe 2 or 3 times in all the games that I have played. Then comes the Great Henge. It is another staple in all the green decks. It also has a modified casting cost, which means if I have greatest power among my creatures, that will reduce the casting cost of this Great Henge. And also this will give me 2 mana to cast any of my creature spells or any of my spells, and it also has +1/+1 counter for all my creatures, whichever comes on the battlefield after casting Great Henge, and draw a card. Then there is Ugin, you saw it, what I used it for. Then there is Turntimber Symbiosis. This is a rare card, mythic rare card from Zendika Rising set, and it is a modal dual faced card, which means it can either be played as a land, which has it will enter the battlefield tapped unless you pay 3 life, sorry. So if I draw this card in my initial few turns, I will use it as a land. But in the advanced stages of my game, I can use the 4 generic and 3 green mana ability of Turntimber Symbiosis to look at top 7 cards of my library and select whichever creature card I want and put it directly on the battlefield. So after casting this for 7 mana, I can even get the 7 mana Rampaging Brontodon on the battlefield, or something like Ghalta Primal Hunger on the battlefield. So this card, 4 copies of this card actually enable me to get this deck going with only 24 lands. Then there is Rampaging Brontodon, you know that, and Kogla the Titan Ape. This is a very famous and very legendary creature from Ikoria set, and whenever it enters the battlefield, it will fight one creature. That creature will die most probably, and also it has an ability to destroy target artifact or enchantment whenever it attacks, which also comes in handy. Then we have Colossal Dreadmaw, another 6/6 trample creature with 6 mana cost, and Gigantosaurus. We discussed about Gigantosaurus, 5 forest creature, 5 forest mana to give a 10/10 giant dinosaur creature. Elder Gargaroth. Actually, this one is kind of a wild card. If it gives some kind of leverage, if most of my creatures are getting countered or something like that. Whenever it attacks or defends, I can either gain 3 life or draw a card or create this beast, 3/3 beast creature token. So that's all about my creatures in this deck. Then comes the Heraldic Banner, which is a 3 mana cost colorless artifact, and it gives me 1 mana of the color that I choose. It can be a staple for any monocolored decks, and also all the creatures with that chosen color, which means I will choose green in this deck, that they will get +1 power. Then there is another mana booster, Gift of Paradise. It will give me 3 life, and also the enchanted land will give 2 mana. Garruk's Uprising. This is a very handy card to have in a deck like this, when there is no trample in Gigantosaurus and say Kogla, the 2 creatures with huge power and toughness but no trample. They can be countered, but they can be defended by even a 1/1 dwarf creature token. To prevent that, one must have trample. Garruk's Uprising will give all the creatures on the battlefield trample, and also whenever a creature of power 4 or greater comes on the battlefield, I can draw a card. Then there is another mana booster, Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves, a staple. Primal Might. Primal Might is something where I can focus my attacks on Primal Might and Inscription of Abundance. These 2 cards are focused weapons. See, I can use this to ramp up the power of any of my creatures and attack any creature that I specifically want dead from the battlefield. The same goes for Inscription of Abundance, but Inscription of Abundance has a kicker ability for 5 mana. When I can kick this spell, this will give me 3 abilities. Put 2 1/1 counters, gain life equal to the greatest power among my creatures, which is a very, very good thing. Because see, if one of my creatures on the battlefield is Ghalta, I will gain 12 life. And also target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So focused cannon, you can say, and Wilt for those decks which have too many of enchantments, especially the enchantments that I hate, shrines. So anyway, let's go to the sideboard. Fountain of Renewal. It is something if a deck is giving too much of what can you say, too much of damage with low cost, it will at least keep me alive, keep the battle going until I can bring out my big guns. Then there is another mana booster. Look at top 3 cards. I can put a land card when I'm not drawing a land card. Gemrazer. This is specifically required if I am countering a shrine deck in a traditional match. If I lose the first match against my main deck, I'll bring in the Gemrazer, and its mutate ability will help me counter all the shrines, all the enchantments and artifacts. Then there is Meteor Golem. Meteor Golem is required. I use it whenever there are too many planeswalkers on or any specific artifact decks. I can take care of the planeswalkers or certain artifacts. Primal Might, it is just a copy of the 2 cards that are in my main deck. So this is all about my Gigantodon deck. Let's play another game. Sorry about the delay. I had to take an urgent call, and let's start the new game. Uh, I like to play ranked games in Magic the Gathering Arena, and as you can see, I am at platinum level, platinum tier 1. Last season, which means last month, I was at diamond tier 1 and 2. I mean, I left at diamond tier 2. The season ended at diamond tier 2. This is my opening hand and I don't like it. There are 2 lands and 1 Heraldic Banner and 1 Turntimber. Should I keep it or not? I have 2 copies of Garruk's Uprising, which are... okay, I'll keep it. At the very least, let's start with modal dual faced card, which enters tapped and gives 1 green mana. Plains. No play. Plains, which means the opponent may be playing a life gain deck, white and green. White and green decks are usually a little bit worrisome, not too worrisome, I'll say. So see, I have 3 lands, 3 forests on the battlefield and 1 Heraldic Banner, which means next time I will have 4 mana. And with Castle Garenbrig, which also is okay, Scoot Swarm. Do you know that the Magic the Gathering Arena, the company, they limited the maximum number of tokens that you can create just because of this creature, Scoot Swarm. So I'll draw Castle Garenbrig, and that will give me the ability to get 6 mana out to cast my Colossal Dreadmaw. Now, let's see. There are few enchantments in white which I don't like. One is Vanishing Light, which exiles one of my creatures. I'll have to take care of this Scoot Swarm. That is where I can use this Primal Might. I can ramp up the power of Colossal Dreadmaw. Okay, Ajani's Primal Might, another ramping creature. Each time the opponent gains life, the Ajani's Primal Might will get +1/+1. And every time new Scoot tokens come into the battlefield, Ajani's Welcome will cause to trigger a life gain. So what to do? Let's go for forest. 1 Garruk's Uprising, and it will trigger a draw card, and I'll use Primal Might with 2 generic and 1 green mana. It will put 2 counters on my Colossal Dreadmaw, and I'll kill Ajani's Primal Might. And then I will attack. Should I attack? If they block with all these creatures, my Colossal Dreadmaw will die. Should I attack? Yes, I will attack. Because in that case, Lotus Cobra and Scoot Swarm, everything will die. Just 2 insects. Who cares about them? So giving 7 damage to the opponent. Next turn I can play Gift of Paradise, both Gifts of Paradise. Or I can play Garruk's Uprising. It will give me another draw card, I believe. Okay, So this game is over. Play Soham. Soham, you are asking me to play with you, play among us, which is very easy. See, I'll be glad to be playing with you guys. The whole point of this streaming is to make friends to play with. Magic the Gathering is only as good as the partners you are playing with. So see, this is my profile. This is my ID, dr underscore Abhinav @20902. You can ping me. You can add friend from this ability. You can add my ID and ping me, and we'll play. Maybe we can even trade each other's playing abilities and playing tactics. So let me exit the game. Soham, this one is for you. I'm writing my ID for you. So this is all about Gigantodon, this deck. Although it didn't give me any wins in the Arena Open yesterday, and in many of the games that I have played, this deck has been absolutely useless, especially against shrines and against goblins. Still, this is a fun deck to play, and what is the main point of Magic the Gathering? To have fun. It is a game, it is a sport. So, if you are joining from India and you are aware of this game, or you want to get to know this game, please do join my Facebook group, Magic the Gathering, the Indian Enthusiasts, and then we will make Magic the Gathering more popular in India. This is all for this video for today. I'll be back with another video, another Magic the Gathering or any other topic. Till then, stay tuned with me. Do subscribe to my channel, The Versatile Doctor. You have been with Dr. Abhinav Atul, and it is my pride and privilege to be able to connect with you through this video. Namaskar.